Thanks, Justin. Now, so those so-called trigger laws, as you heard them explained, Idaho and Wyoming have those trigger laws. They are expected to kick in now, banning abortions in most states. Now, Idaho's is expected to go into effect in 30 days after the Supreme Court's final judgment, which could still take up to 30 days from now. The law will make it a felony for any health care provider to perform or attempt to perform an abortion. The law includes an exemption for cases of rape or incest if it's reported to law enforcement and proof of that report is submitted to the abortion provider. But Idaho's Planned Parenthood Alliance advocate director says it won't work.
We all know that abortion is a really time-sensitive procedure, and so these exceptions become really in name only. They're not very effective and not going to be very helpful for survivors of sexual assault.
Wyoming's trigger law goes into effect in 35 days following the final ruling. Violating the law would be punishable by up to 14 years in prison. Wyoming's ban would also allow for exemptions in the case of rape or incest, but does not specify how those may be granted. Now, Idaho Governor Brad Little shared his comments about today's ruling from the Supreme Court. He says, quote, "Today's decision is the culmination of pro-life efforts to defend the defenseless, preborn babies who deserve protection. It also is affirmation of states' rights, a fundamental aspect of our American government," end quote. He later continued, quote, "We absolutely must come together like never before to support women and teens facing unexpected or unwanted pregnancies. Families, churches, charities, and local and state government must stand ready to lift them up and help them and their families with access to adoption services, health care, financial and food assistance, counseling and treatment, and family planning," end quote. Also, our U.S. senators commented. Senator Jim Risch said, quote, "The most basic right we as humans have is the right to life. I have immense empathy for any expecting mother in difficult circumstances," end quote. And Senator Mike Crapo, his response now, quote, "My strong commitment to supporting measures that protect the rights of the unborn remains unchanged. I believe abortion is wrong and should be limited to cases where the mother's life is in imminent danger. The court's decision upholds my belief that states should have the ability to protect the right to life," end quote. Now, protesters made their voices heard all the way from Washington, D.C. to the streets of Idaho Falls today. Ralliers downtown heard from two Democratic candidates just a short time ago. Now, Local News 8's Evan Thomason joins us live from downtown where the crowd is gathering against today's ruling. Evan.
Todd, reaction from dozens of our neighbors today has been strong and swift. This is right here behind me. They came today here to Broadway Bridge to stand in support of women's rights. And as you can see here behind me, tons of people have showed out here today with tons of signs and chants. Looks like everyone here right now is in opposition to today's decision. Drivers have been honking in support as well. There doesn't seem to be a competing faction. Earlier, they heard from David Roth, Democratic nominee to the United States Senate. He told the crowd to be relentless in their fight for reproductive rights.
I am talking about the why that chokes you up in the back of your throat, where you can think that you have no choice but to move forward and to oppose and resist. That is the type of why that we need to find so that we can be relentless and not give up and not think for a moment that just because this is Idaho, we don't have a chance or we don't have a voice or we don't have a choice, because we do.
Now, people have told us that this decision has been quote-unquote tragic, and they do not intend to let this decision go on very quietly. Reporting in Idaho Falls, I'm Evan Thomason.